that.
Uh-huh.
Everything you say is so funny to me.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Are we
You are good to go.
and is everything in the frame too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and this frame, because I have to work on my posture, so I'm gonna be like this, and then I'm usually like this.
Yeah, I'll be like this.
So I need like a 4-inch frame.
I
Oh,
think
there's yeah.
Yeah, there's space. It's
I
not
love
tight.
hearing your little voice just come out of the walls.
It is kind of
I'm
spooky.
sweating already. Well, I'm like slightly like getting over. You're not gonna get sick.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm medicated now, so I don't care.
You-
Yep. Before I was taking medication, I would have been out the door already. I would have been on Sunset
Yeah.
Boulevard if you said the words. I was.
Oh, because
like,
hypochondria.
yeah.
Me-
Well, it's OCD.
wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait a second, Mike.
All right. In 3, 2.
Hi guys, welcome to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. I'm here today with my guest comedian Thomas Dale. Thomas, you have me sweating.
Thank you.
I'm getting over a flu, but you won't get it. But
Yes,
you
it's fine. Like I was telling you, I'm on Lexapro and Seroquel, so.
Oh, you're on Seroquel? So is my
Yes.
husband.
It's great. It's like, well, how much? I actually just started cutting down to like the lowest milligrams. Because
50?
I'm even lower. I'm splitting a 25 milligram one. So I take 12 and a half now.
How long have you been taking it?
2 years.
And
Almost 2 years.
do you do the night eating?
Oh my God, I was binge eating to the point where I gave myself fatty liver.
Fatty liver?
Yes. Don't worry, it's fine. I'm vegan now, and it's being fixed.
What is fatty liver?
I know, right? It's like, don't be jealous. It's abuse of your liver. So I've abused my liver in my life, with like partying and stuff like that. But that was like whatever. My liver was fine. And then I started binge eating when I started taking Seroquel like 2 years ago. Everything I do is in excess. I'm sure we all do that, but that's what I do. So I started eating like a fucking like remember in health class those movies they would show you of eating disorders, like the bitch vomiting in the Tupperware and putting it under her bed. That's what you did. Okay, well
I didn't put it under my bed. I put it in the toilet.
In the toilet.
But
all right.
yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
The real motherfuckers, they put that shit under their bed. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
I never
exactly, yeah.
even saw that.
I wasn't doing that, but I'm saying I was eating in that fashion.
Yeah.
Like just shoving it in my mouth.
Was it a lot of night eating?
It was all night.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't differentiate because everything's at night for me,
Mm.
So, because since I was a kid, I can't sleep. I would go to school on 4 hours of sleep.
Really?
I just would be there up.
Because you were nervous thinking about stuff?
Never nervous, just my mind just wouldn't stop, So I just would think, and then like there are time periods where it's worry, but then there's time periods where it's just like thinking all the time, and I wouldn't get tired. Like that was the thing, I never felt tired.
Wow.
And then in the day, then I felt tired, so I would sleep in class.
Did people think that was like a manic episode sort of thing?
Well, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 when I was like 22. So up until then, it was really just, oh, your son's high strung. They said I was high strung. I was like, I'll show you high strung, bitch. And that was like the moms would say that to my mom. But then teachers would say to my mom and dad, if your son wasn't so funny, he would not pass. Like they literally, 2 teachers said it to my mom. She goes, we love your son so much, and he's so funny, and that's why he's passing. So I would get like a 65 in every 65. If I got a 70, I was like, oh, I'm so smart.
Yeah.
So that's manic shit.
So do you do like the high highs and the low kind of thing?
Everything just has always seemed like a high. Like everything is always, and I guess the lows is maybe like when I feel maybe just like tired.
But not depressed.
Yeah, depression, I just started to feel like I've always been very happy, I don't know. I really don't, to be honest. I don't know. I guess I got sad in a normal way, like the normal way people would be sad. And when I overdosed, it was like more of a thing I did, and I felt like that was the only way out. Yeah, I'm not a mopey, sad person.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh,
I'm an
God.
anxious person.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of, I guess I'm an intense person, I think I would say. I'm intense.
When I talking to you, I start to talk. I
Like
change.
New York?
Yes, did you notice?
A lot of people do that.
Oh, really?
It's like when you
People
talk to
say
a black
that?
person, and all of a sudden you're like, yo, G, like, yo, my dude, like, it's just like that. It's
I
fun.
I feel myself, and I'm catching myself, and I'm trying to like kind of measure it back and forth. But
Yeah.
what part of New York are you from?
I was born in Queens
Okay.
and then raised in Long Island, Valley Stream, which is like the first town Look at you. I'm
I
not even
told
touching your
you.
blueprints. Her blueprints. She's putting her blueprints all over the table and showing me. Are you testing me? Is this
No.
exposure therapy that I walked into right now and no one told me?
Your mom's here too.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like, we need you to get through this.
Wait, so what part in Long Island?
Valley Stream. It's the first town in Long Island, so it's basically like Queens.
Great Neck.
Oh yeah, Great Neck is more North Shore, and then Valley Stream is South Shore, but they would run perpendicular to each other.
And you're Italian.
Italian, yep.
And Jewish or
nope.
no?
A lot of people say Jewish, but no. I feel like if you were a Jewish person, you should be they should be offended by people saying that I'm Jewish, only because it's from the crazy neuroticness of me.
Yeah.
That people are like, oh, that's Jewish.
Well, in that particular area is a
that's
lot
where
of
it comes
Jewish
from,
people.
of course.
Yeah, everyone in Great
Hewlett
Neck
and
yeah,
Great
yeah.
Neck, yeah.
My dad grew up in Merrick.
Merrick, yeah, Merrick is
Where
more
Lindsay
along the
Lohan's
lines.
from.
Yeah, I worked in Merrick at Nick D'Angelo's. It was an Italian restaurant. Dina Lohan wanted to manage me.
Really?
Yeah.
So how old were you at that point?
I was 25, 26.
And you
but
were doing stand-up
I wasn't
then?
doing stand-up. I was telling her that like I was thinking of going into it, and that I wanted to learn and do. So I did my first bringer show. I was like 27
In New York?
in New York.
At-
Yeah, at Caroline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she was like, "Oh well, if you do decide to do stand-up, I'm a manager and blah 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 and all this stuff."
Who were her clients?
Dina, and then maybe not Dina.
Lindsay.
Lindsay. She managed
Oh.
Lindsay. She was a momager. And then so then I was like, shit, Lindsay Lohan's mom. That would be
Yeah.
great, But like this business, nothing ever comes through. So
Right. Well, she probably had nothing going on, and
she
by
was a
then her
wreck
daughter
herself.
was
Yeah,
like
exactly. She was a
not in a
wreck.
good place.
Yeah.
It wasn't Parent Trap height.
right, exactly right. It
Yeah.
was Rumors, which is a fierce fucking album.
How doesn't she have a new song?
I don't know.
And she made a music video. Do you follow?
No, I don't
No,
follow
don't follow
anything.
her.
I can't. I have to stay in my own world. Otherwise, I get like extra.
Yeah. And then, are you sober now? Sort of.
I
Yeah.
smoke weed, but
Oh,
no
okay.
drugs. No like pills. I'm not like
Ever since
Adderalling it up and
the overdose.
no, ever since like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just was like, I can't do this.
What happened 2 years ago?
I was like, and if you could probably see some of my Laugh Factory videos, I look a little. I was on a lot of Adderall. Like I was abusing
Oh.
Adderall for like 8 months.
Mhm.
I was on like 90 milligrams a day.
Oh my God,
and,
that's
like,
a lot.
And I was only sleeping 4 hours a night. Like I would wake up, crack the piece, take a piece, and then like throughout the day just keep cracking pieces. And like I would go I would go do spots, and then I would just like walk around Hollywood at 2 a.m. till like 7 a.m. on Adderall, smoking my weed pen.
Did you get a lot of stuff done?
I don't know. I just got. I don't know. Yeah, I almost sold a show, but I mean, it was like, it was a lot of things. I was getting a lot done. Oh, I almost had a heart attack on stage.
Oh my
I was
God,
like,
on stage?
well, I mean, listen, I always think I'm having a heart attack. So
yeah.
my words.
I've been to the hospital so many times for
oh
stuff
my God,
like
I
that.
was just at the urgent care like a month ago, and it was gas.
I went.
I was like, I
yeah,
think I'm
yeah,
having
I've
a heart
had
attack
that.
because now I'm veganish. So
Oh,
I,
really?
Like,
What's veganish?
I eat egg and fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no meat, no chicken, no dairy.
Did something happen?
The fatty liver.
Oh.
Are you listening?
Okay, I'm just like putting it together. Wait.
You're just lost in my words.
Yeah,
huh?
I
I'm
need to stop having
mesmerizing.
dairy. It makes me
Yeah.
so bloated.
It's so bad. All of it's bad for you.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
And I
you
get
look
tired.
great, so it doesn't matter. But
I'm sick. Well, I look better than this normally.
oh, okay, good. I don't know. You're a girl, so I think you all look the same.
Thank you. Do you?
Yeah, you're all pretty girls to me. All are just pretty girls. And then like I don't know.
Then what's
regular
the next
girls.
class?
I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Don't worry about it. But yes, girls. Oh, they were like Asians, you know. You all look
yeah,
alike.
yeah.
A lot of Asians look alike. Let's understand that that's a stereotype that's allowed to be true.
Yeah.
Chinese, especially, all look a lot alike. Like, why can't we just? I am so over the fact that we can't admit that there are stereotypes that are true.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of gay stereotypes that are. Most gay stereotypes are very fucking true.
Like.
You know, like that we are very overly sexual. Well, we can get sex easy. So it's very
Yeah.
promiscuous. There is a flamboyant personality that comes with a lot of gayness.
What is that?
I think that
It
'cause
happens from a young age too.
I think it's just here's what I think it is. I think that gay is in the brain. So I think that we're just connected to both. I used to think it was like a brain damage, like deficiency, but now
Damage?
yeah, I thought we were fucked up. I thought being gay was like a problem.
But that's like a Catholic upbringing.
That was just it was just my own self-discovery. I don't think every gay person just automatically loves himself, and the ones that act like they do are lying.
Wow.
So I've just been honest with
I
my
recently
journey.
heard Jessica Curson talking about that.
Me and Jessica are a lot alike
Oh,
on that
okay.
lines. We've always
I
kind of
felt I
vibed
really
with that,
felt
yeah.
for her when I heard, in the same. Yeah.
So I've actually gone to her for advice about because I used to abuse Ambien and stuff, and she had that issue, and so yeah, through my journey, and then now I see it as a fucking dope ass like X-Men
Yeah.
type thing because I think we have like girl and boy brain, like we have both of that. So that girl, because I know I like straight dudes. I need to have a straight boy. That's like what I love, and I
Like
think
turning one out.
not even turning one out because I don't want him to be gay at all. I want him to love women, but just like to bro out with me or something.
Oh, okay. As a
But
friend.
as a friend, but then also just like there's a little piece of me that likes how they treat. They are so molded to women that they'll even when they're hooking like if I hook up with a straight dude, afterwards he's like still talking to me and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you're so straight. Like, because they have, like with girls, they have to still talk a little bit after they come,
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a gay dude, he's already wiping up before I nut, So that's like the difference. Like, so I like they appease the female in me. Like, straight men have this need to be strong and brave all the time. And I think that's so adorable.
Yeah.
And that's the girl in me that thinks that's so cute. But the boy in me, like, I'm like, I understand it, why they do it, but I don't need to do it because I have that female confidence,
Which side do you feel like you're a little more on? If there
I think
is.
I'm bigender, which means that I'm straight down the middle. So apparently, like my therapist explains that when I wake up, gender's just in your brain. It's not your genitals,
Yeah.
right? So I'm obviously a man, like duh,
Mhm.
But my brain, when I wake up, it resets it. They said so. Like a typical female genital having person would be like I think it's the right side I think it's the right, and then the males are the left. So each day it resets. So one day I wake up completely. I say often the days that are my easiest where I'm just like, whatever.
Or guy
Are
days.
guy days
Yeah.
if you don't text me back, I'm cool with it. Whereas when I wake up on the females, and I think there are straight men who can be
That's
bigender
so
too.
interesting. I
Mhm.
know. Yeah. I
It's
could
not a
see what
gay
you
or straight
mean.
thing. It's a lot of anyone can be
It's
that.
just like that
It's
female
just your
male
brain.
part of your
Yeah,
brain.
exactly. I think it's
Oh,
just a
wow.
biological thing. And I've always been very like trying to figure the fuck out of what I am and who I am. And I think that's what it is. I'm not positive about it, but I think that's what it is. It feels like that.
It sounds like you have a good therapist.
I have a great therapist, and I'm doing the work. You can't, you really have to want to change.
Mhm.
Like I've been at 3 other therapists before in my life, and I wound up giving them therapy. Like I always described it as that.
Yeah.
But this guy really gets it, and you know what it is? He loves his job. So
Mhm.
he loves the mind. So I love that. I love people who love their job.
But he's a therapist,
He's a
not a
psychologist.
Yeah.
Right. He's a psychologist. So he does like psychotherapy and all that stuff. And he's just he's a Gemini, and Geminis love the mind.
Does he do any besides talking? Does he have you do any like worksheets and stuff like that?
It's all just like we've like gotten this like great relationship where he says he's fascinated by my mind, and I say I'm fascinated by how much he loves the mind, and like it just works well together. So
Mhm.
he's learning from me, and I'm learning from him.
You ever get jealous when you hear your friends talk about what they do in therapy and you're like, my fucking therapist doesn't do that?
No, my
That's
friends.
like a
No, I'm
thing
the
that
only
I
one who
have.
goes. None of my friends go to therapy.
Really?
Yeah, because I hang out with like all very like alpha kind of guys who are just like don't think therapy is
Who are
worth
comics.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
And actually now I don't really hang out with anybody but my dog. Literally,
Uh-huh.
like the past year, I've just taken a step away from comedy. Not away from it, but
Yeah.
just not the world of it.
How
I
has
feel
that
so much better.
right? I was just gonna say, how has that been?
It's so amazing.
So did something specifically happen that made you want to like take a step back, like emotionally, spiritually, psychologically?
think
Because this is like a
spiritually.
very hard career. It's a very,
Mhm.
just being in the midst of it, compare and despair
Mhm.
and all that. Do you get
Oh,
into
God,
that?
of
That's like a big
course,
subject for me on
100%,
this
yeah.
podcast. When some people
It
like
never
don't
comparing and never ever ends up good ever.
Yeah.
And it's never even real because all the things you're comparing, you find out it's like, oh, I know the real story behind that, and how this is why this person got so many. Like, I mean, look at TikTok.
Yeah.
There's TikTok is like the basic example of how anyone with the right algorithm or right person who puts them on or can get quote unquote famous. Famous
Uh-huh.
means nothing.
See, I'm not even on TikTok, so
I was refusing to go on it, and I
Me
was told a
too.
few times to go
Me-
on. Then my roommate, I hear him in the living room. I hear it going. Then I went home, and my little nieces were like, "Do a TikTok with us." Then I go on. I see all these. First of all, if there's any pedophiles watching, go to TikTok because I can't. I'm not a pedophile, and I'm watching. There are these 18, 15, 16-year-old boys, jacked, quarter, like just, and they're all dancing sexy and licking their lips, and I'm like, what? I go, if I was a pedophile, I would never leave my room.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then I'm watching for a while, and I'm like, I have to stop because I feel like it's gonna turn me into a pedophile. Like,
Is it fun?
no, it's not fun. It's just hot children
It's
dancing
really
naked.
just hot children dancing?
Yes, it's so gross and ridiculous.
Damn, I gotta sign up. No,
Just go look. You'll see. No, seriously, look at the boys on there.
Because I felt like I didn't need like another thing.
No,
Like,
you
I
don't need another thing at all.
I
We
can't.
don't even need the things we have now.
Instagram already drives me insane.
Insane. And here's
Yeah.
the thing. This is why I'm not at the peak of where I should be in my career, like as far as with my talent. I'm never a trend person. Since I was a kid, I have never been one to hop on the fads.
Mhm.
I don't like it. I actually go against it. So
Yeah.
it's like all the things that you do to get viral and do all that stuff. I'm always like, well, what's the opposite that I can do? You know, like what do
Mhm.
I just can't. It like irks my skin, right? Which has been the thing I think to hold me. I guess you can say hold me back because I
Mm.
refused. You know, there's been certain
Like fear of
things,
success kind of thing?
not even fear of success through selling myself out.
Yeah, mainstream.
I have said no to so many things because I'm
Really?
like, that's just not my style.
Mhm.
I don't care. I don't want to do that. I don't need to be famous enough to be a thing I don't want to be or
Mm.
to be in a position I don't want to be in. I don't want to get famous on something I can't be happy about.
That's amazing. And
yeah,
you've always just felt that way?
I've always felt that way. And yes, it's amazing, but it's also like I've had to go through frustration of not being where I deserve to be,
Mhm.
but I've had to take full accountability for that. I don't believe in like, oh, woe is me, or this I don't get the opportunities. No, I've made decisions that I did with late night once, and then I decided I don't want to do it again.
Because it's
'Cause
like
it's
you can't be
corny.
I know. You
I've
can't
done-
be
you know, I've been
yourself.
asked to do
Watered down
yeah.
material.
It just
It's
I
like,
did it. I proved it was great. Whatever. It wasn't. I didn't have fun in the process. I didn't even like what it was like. All right, great. Here's a good tape for you.
Mhm. Because I too, like, you
Mhm.
know, I submitted. They said I was too edgy.
Oh, it's
Half
like,
the
get
stuff
outta
was okay, and
here.
like none of my
Look
stuff
at-
is clean.
But it's like
And I don't have fun, and it's like
Yeah,
it just doesn't feel
be
fun. I'm like, this
you.
isn't gonna feel fun, and
Right.
it's just like the
you're just doing it just to do it, to get the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's the only way in this business to get big is you have to do the thing to get the next thing. And I
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
never,
the
I just can't- I
intention
don't
behind
have
it is
yeah,
gross.
It's all gross.
So was so you're kind of you're mostly edgy too.
yeah, totally. I'm just
So was it
honest.
so it was really hard probably to like put that did you feel like so watered down and
For that, I did. I actually was one of the first openly gay comedians who went on late night
Oh,
and
cool.
said I'm gay and this and that, like as a
wow.
late night comic. No,
That's awesome.
it was for Craig Ferguson. Nobody else did it yet, and then I did it, and that was like considered. Oh wow, look at him. And people would even say, "Damn, I've never seen a late night spot where someone was like, oh, I'm gay and blah blah blah," and then telling all the different my point of view on stuff. You know.
Mhm.
So I did the things where I wanted to do. You know, I did a joke about like how straight guys love when a girl wears high heels naked, and I'm like, that's so weird. You know, I did that kind of bit, and I did my point of view, and so that's like could be I watered it down a little bit, but I
Yeah.
still did my material I want. It was only 5 minutes, so I was able to take. I found 5 minutes out of an hour.
Mhm.
So
How long have you been doing stand up?
at that time I'm at 13 years. At that time I was at 5 years because I had gotten New Faces, and then I did late night after that
When
because
did you
they
do
saw
New
me at New
Faces?
Faces, 2012.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that was So I was like 6 years in. So yeah, so I did that and it was great.
Yeah, you're so fucking funny.
Yeah, but like regardless of go ahead.
When I saw you when we were both doing the Laugh Factory,
Mhm.
it's like I normally never stay and watch.
Right, yeah,
I would
of
never
course.
stay
It's
and
like,
watch someone's
yeah.
20-minute set. I wanted to
Right.
get back to LA.
Right, exactly.
But I just I had seen you in the belly room, and
Uh-huh.
like you're it's like for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
totally.
for
It's a lot.
it's for me, and I think it's also like for people my age
Mhm.
because all of your references are like
Yes.
things that me and my friends, you know,
Yeah,
like the
totally. Yeah,
Little
yeah,
Mermaid,
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah,
pussy
yes.
throw it over the shoulder,
Uh-huh,
like a fur coat.
Yes.
So
My
fucking
pussy shawl.
well, not that one's the age thing, but the Little
Yeah.
Mermaid. I don't know. It just
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
like
totally.
yeah. It's so fucking
But
funny.
and it's great and stuff, but I just got to a place where I'm like, I'm tired of just being funny. So now I'm like going into the spiritual space because I have
Okay.
these other gifts that I never embellished on because there was never glory to it. So I used
Mhm.
to get visions when I was like a kid, like in the 90s and stuff. Like
That happens to everyone from Long Island.
that makes sense.
Right? There's so many mediums from Long Island. They're all coming from there.
There must
They're
be
all
something,
coming from there.
There must be something in the
Wait,
water.
you're the third.
Is there?
How many?
Well,
There's
there's
like
Teresa.
yeah, and
And
then
then who else?
there's the one who has the new E show.
Is he from Long Island?
He
Tyler
looks
Henry?
like it, and his
He
accent
does
it
sound
sounds
like
like
he's
it.
from it.
I
Yeah.
think there's another one too.
There's something
There's
about
probably
the
like
water.
5. Wait, there's so many.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not just a straight
Mike,
up
will you
medium.
tell me how many you can hear?
Yeah, let us know.
Can you hear us, Mike? There's 7?
There's 7 from Long Island. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm a Heyoka empath.
Okay,
And
what is
then
that?
That's
Heyoka?
Heyoka, yeah. It's like one of the higher levels of empath, and I'm able to unveil your truth. So like through talking to people, I just know I can sense their truth, and I can like see like the honest. I've always had to like kind of even dumb myself down, to act like I don't know anything, and I always would just know what. Even if someone didn't know for themselves, I would know what their truth is.
Can you know mine?
Yeah, if I like talk to you for a little bit, like
Oh
it
my
would
God, I
it
wanna
gets like
know
deep
it.
and serious.
I know what you're gonna
though.
say. Every
Why?
person who says who they read me, they go, "You have a lot of sadness." Every single person
Interesting.
who they always say that, and then it instantly makes me feel like I want to cry because it's someone who's reading you and
Of
telling you you have a lot of,
course,
and then it just
yeah.
makes you feel like
Well, no, the energy, the feeling I feel from you, because I could see through, I see the truth and all that stuff. I feel a frustration in you that you've always had in your life.
wow,
Yes, like a frustration, to not be seen for who you are. Like there's a deeper you, and you
Mhm.
feel that no one ever gets to see that part of you.
That's somewhat true, yeah.
And it's like
Except for the people very close to me.
well, most people, but for most people, for you, you feel like they don't ever get to that deep layer, and I don't know if it's because you don't show them it, or
Mhm.
it's because they don't care to take that next step.
Damn.
Yeah, and you sense that, and it hurts you. Yeah,
Wow.
right. There's something to that.
I think there's
And if
something
we
to
talk for
that.
a while, I do I do readings now for people in my apartment.
You do? Because now
Yes,
you're
it's
getting
amazing.
in your like.
Yeah. Because I'm feeling myself. This is my true self. You don't even know. I am
You're
like
relaxing
yes,
into your comfortable
yeah,
like
my clairvoyant
yeah.
self. That's what I am. I'm a clairvoyant.
Wait, do you have a
Yeah.
special chair at home
I have 2 chairs.
for your readings?
Well, first of all,
Wait,
I
you're
used to have-
relaxing into like
yeah,
this
this is who I
clairvoyant gypsy
feel.
pose.
Yeah, yes.
Oh my God.
I've found myself. It's beyond comedy. It's like who I truly
I love
am.
this.
And my new mission in life is to make as many people happy that everyone I come in contact with, I want to help them and fulfill them in a way that like they can be better off in their life. And so now I'm, and then I obviously have to be financially stable. So I'm creating a business now and doing this on the side
Of readings.
I call them experiences
Okay.
because I sit with you for an hour and then
Spiritual experiences.
yeah, it's a life-changing experience actually because you'll leave and you'll on a prescription pad, like you'll write on just a pad, I'll get the answers from like a divine energy, and I'll tell you. I told one girl she had to go buy a bonsai tree. I said, I don't know why, but there's something about the bonsai tree that I'm feeling. Who knows? She could meet someone buying it. It could, whatever it is. So one girl, I said, you have to buy a jump rope, and then it came to be that she used to jump rope when she was a kid to release energy, and she hasn't done that. To release anxiety, and I felt that a lot. Yeah, a lot. It's just a lot. So anyway, yeah. So I do that.
Do I need to buy anything?
Well, if
Or
I
it
would need
takes a
time
little
to
bit.
talk to you. Yeah, exactly. So you can check
Wow.
out my website, kewenthomas.com, KEWEN Thomas.com, and then all the information's there, and then people book appointments through
Oh
there.
my God.
It's
So
actually
is
my
that
passion now.
wow? That's so interesting. So is that
Mhm.
part of what you've been busy doing for the past year?
Yeah. Well, I started doing free readings at the dog park to practice it. So I was like
Mhm.
open micing it at the dog park basically, and I would take people in the back area, and I would do them for like 10 minutes, and every single time I was like nailing it.
Oh my
And
God.
people were like shook, like they were like, "Oh my God!" Like then, one of my friends, I don't want to say her name because I don't want to exploit her, but she had texted me, and she's a comic, and she had said, we haven't seen each other in a bit. I want to talk. And then I said, of course. She's like, I need your guidance as a friend.
Wow.
So then I hung up with her, and someone who passed away in her life, came to me. I didn't see him physically, but I said, he was like handing me a teddy bear, and then I said, all right, I'll tell her when I see her. And I hadn't seen her. Then a month went by. We didn't see each other, and so I texted her. I was like, I have to ask you. I was like, because it was really strong when it came to me, and these medium things have been happening, and I go, your blank, because I don't want to say who it was. People might have seen on stories. Um, I think came to me. I go, they were handing me a teddy bear with like a ribbon on it. I said, did you ever get a teddy bear with a ribbon on it or something like? And she goes, wow. She goes, ever since blank passed away, I've been sleeping with the teddy bear that he gave me, and it used to have a ribbon on it, but I can't remember the color because I said it was either pink or blue, and I couldn't decipher. And she said, yeah, it used to have a ribbon on it. I go, well, they came to me, and then all this stuff. So anyway, yeah. So then I was like, that was happening a lot and a lot. And then I started driving Uber because I was not doing comedy a lot.
Yeah.
And I've been making all my money from comedy for 6 years now. So I had to supplement that money.
Mhm.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll just drive Uber. I don't care. I drove Uber, and strangers would get in my car. I haven't been around strangers in 13 years. I've been only around comics, and people love comedy. So I'd have strangers in my car, and I would get these images and visions, and I would start speaking to them about it, and I would practice on them. And people were like, oh, tipping me like $30 and saying it was the best experience they've ever had in their whole life. And I was like,
Oh my
whoa.
God.
So it's like I had to take a step back from what I was pounding out for 13 years and just be like, what is this gift? And I realized it was like not about the fame and spotlight. And even for like the past 2 years in comedy, I've been telling the host to bring me up to no applause. I started hating the whole ego part of it. So
wow.
I was like, I don't care about credits. Just tell them no applause. I just want it to be silent.
That's
And then
a cool experience in itself.
yes, it was cool for the host because there was a couple of hosts that were like so uncomfortable in their own skin.
Yeah. What did they specifically say?
They would say,
I've never seen that.
they would say, this next comic coming to the stage, he requests that you don't applaud, and then some of them would be on auto and be like, give it up for Thomas Dale, or they would be like, and I would say so, and I would have to direct them. I'd be like, don't say give it up for Thomas Dale because then they're gonna clap. Just say my name, and then I'll come. And they're like, it's gonna be awkward. And I'm like, fine, that's life. So every time I would come
So
up,
I'm sure there's a few people
yes,
who
there were some assholes, and
feel
then
like,
I would acknowledge
or feel
that.
like they have to.
Right, and I would acknowledge. I always felt whether it was an asshole or someone who just
Yeah.
was on auto, and I would acknowledge it in that way.
Yeah.
And I said, at the end of what I do, then applaud when I've done something. Don't just hand me applause. I haven't done anything. That's why everyone's there's so much ego in this because no one's earning their shit. I said, let me do my time, and then I promise you'll applaud.
Yeah.
And 100% of the time, it felt so much realer. Like
and better, like
it was
earned.
like people would like. It was like so to me, that was a beautiful thing. It had nothing to do with I felt great about myself. It had everything to do with it just felt natural, and I felt like it was great. So in the Uber, I started seeing these powers more, and I said, "Fuck it, let me start charging." And
How
then
much do you charge?
It's $60 for an hour. It's
Oh,
very cheap.
That's not bad.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to
have
rip anyone
do
off.
it.
Yeah,
I have to do
who do I have? I have Audrey. What's her name?
Stewart?
Yeah, she's coming in.
The comic?
Yeah, the really funny, like
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
act. She's
yeah.
coming in Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, Mary Ellen. Do you know her?
Mary.
Mary Ellen. She's
Mm-mm.
or Jane Johnson, whatever. They're coming in. They're
Those sound like fake names. No, I'm kidding.
I know, right? I'm like Jane Mary. It does. No, Mary Ellen Sphere. She does. She like produces a bunch of shows too.
Oh, okay.
Now you're like, who is this bitch? Let me see. Let me get on. Who books that?
Wait, damn. Is it almost 2:30? Okay.
Yeah, let me know, 'cause
want
I
to
gotta
get
go to my
into. Okay,
therapist.
I want to
Mhm.
get into.
My this is not happening.
Yeah.
Story? Yeah.
Would you like recount it
Yeah.
for
I
the
mean,
pod?
it was
I just love the
basically-
story,
Thank
and it was
you.
sort of similar to what happened to me in a way, except for the AIDS stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have to see it to understand that. When you say the AIDS
Sorry.
stuff, there's no AIDS. No one has AIDS.
No AIDS.
Yeah. I was in the story, Cliff Notes. I was like 20 years old, 19, 20. I had moved to LA. I lived in a hostel. Met this hot bartender. He was like 40, muscles. Feeds me all these free margaritas. Long story short, he's driving me back to his place. He tells me he has AIDS. I'm drunk.
No, wait. He said I've been. Oh.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's one of
That
the
part
jokes.
was
One of
so
the jokes
fucking
is
funny to me.
he was like,
Did he really say that?
yeah, when we got to his apartment, because he's like, I have AIDS, and I was drunk. I was like, well, I'm a '90s kid. I know if we use a
Yeah.
condom, AIDS
How
is
old were
fine.
you?
I was like 19.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, so then I go, that's fine. So we go to his apartment. He's like, I'm gonna jump in the shower. I've been doing crystal meth all night. And I was like, ew, I don't shower with people, but I'll be out here waiting for that AIDS dick.
You said
That
that?
was the joke. No, that's just the joke that you said
That's
just
so
now.
funny.
So
I
that's just
know.
a written joke. Anyway, so then we wound up not having sex. He poured a condom on. He tried to fuck me, and I was like, then there's a line where I was like, I'm on all fours like a birthday pony, greased up like a breakfast skillet. And he's like trying to fuck me, and I'm like, go ahead, get it. And I'm a virgin, mind you. I had no desire to fuck anyone, but because he was so honest about having AIDS, I was like, well, I can't say no now.
Did you really feel that
I
guilt?
really felt that. I
That's-
truly felt, wow, he was honest. So why would I punish him now, right? Like, why would I say, sorry, I can't do this and get out?
I know,
'Cause
that's
it would
so
make him-
uncomfortable.
yeah.
I feel really bad for people
Because
who
then it would
are-
make him
yeah.
feel like, well, fuck this. I'm not going to tell anybody, right? Like, that's how I felt. So I felt a little bit of a responsibility to be educated enough to know that if we wore a condom, we're fine.
Wow.
I didn't want to be ignorant, you know? So we didn't, he was like trying. And
Was
that,
it too big?
I was too tight. I was 19 and I never had
Okay.
anal sex ever in my life.
Yeah.
That little perfect little pink 19-year-old asshole. Woo!
Yeah.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Got me all riled up. You got to go on TikTok and see these boys. Even you little straight things in the box. You'll love them. So he was trying to poke, and there's the line in there where in the video where I go, I swear an angel was holding my asshole shut.
That was so. Oh my! Every single line. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
that's
bit, yeah.
good. That's good.
So that was, then I say, I moved, I was so shook after that. I was convinced I had AIDS because I'm a hypochondriac.
yeah.
And even though we didn't have sex, I was like, oh my God, I was in the same room. And then all the ignorance. I was trying not to be ignorant, but I was so ignorant. And then I moved back to New York because I was shook.
Because you thought you
I
had
was like,
AIDS.
I have AIDS. I want to spend my time with my family. I'm going to die.
That's so
Yes.
funny and
I had no
dramatic.
desire to like go be on pills and be, this, it wasn't even like such a long, it was like 2001. So
Yeah.
it was like, they have medicine for it. You don't
Yeah.
have to just die.
And you didn't want to get a. You didn't.
I didn't want to, I
think
waited
about
a whole
going to
year.
the doctor to get a
No,
test
I
because
was
you were
so
scared to know the
convinced.
answer.
I
I
was
still
like,
get afraid to get the AIDS test, even
even
though I
you
know
knew
I don't
nothing,
have
right,
it.
Of course, because you just
every
get
time.
nervous.
And they always wait so long to fucking tell you.
Yeah,
They're
you're
like, and you.
yeah. Oh, no, negative. Yeah, yeah. They tell you everything. No syphilis, no herpes,
Yeah.
no gonorrhea. No, I'm like,
They have
ah.
they take a long.
But now I don't
beat.
care. I don't have sex. Literally, I don't.
Really?
I've had intercourse with 2 people my whole life. My ex-boyfriend Ricky, who comes at the end of that story.
Yeah.
Because then the story, long story short, goes into like, I moved back to New York. I fall in love. I get the AIDS test a year later. I was negative, obviously. I fell in love. We were together for 3 years. I like tried to kill myself because it was a whole thing. So go see the story. It's on This Is Not Happening on Comedy Central's YouTube page. And then after that, I found comedy. And
But you get 50. You got 5150.
Oh my God, they took
How
my
long?
ass.
Where was that?
In Nassau, what is it called?
Nassau
Medical Center.
Oh,
Nassau Medical
okay.
Center.
How many days did you have to stay?
2 days.
Because you got out early.
I got out.
I got
on
out
Monday.
early.
Of course, we're white.
I know.
Of course, we got out early.
I know. Well, you're supposed to stay for 3.
Yeah, no.
And then
My dad is
when
an ex-cop. There was no
Oh,
way. Yeah.
really?
They would have let me out that night, but it was the weekend,
Uh-huh.
so apparently there's no psychiatrist on deck, so you have
Yeah.
to wait till Monday.
When you were in there, then did you share a room
No,
with 2
I
other?
was in my room. I woke up in like a straight
You really
up
woke up in a
hospital
straight
bed,
jacket?
The straight jacket I
Okay.
added for the story.
Yeah.
But I woke up in a hospital bed, the gowned,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like the feetsies with no shoe, like
Yeah.
my shoes were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a nurse sitting at my door. Like it was like a one-on-one, like one. I was watched
Wow.
for 24 hours. Yeah, like that kind of thing. So, and then it made me realize too when I woke up and there was like actual crazy people. I was like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. I'm just a gay kid who found love, fucked it up, and thinks he'll never be in love again. That's all it was.
Did you have?
I never wanted to die. I love life.
Yeah. Did you have the feeling though? Like, were you afraid that you weren't potentially going to get out in 3 days?
Yes. Oh my God.
How
I wanted
scary
to be.
is that?
It was fucking. I was like, get me out now.
Because they wheeled me in on a
Oh,
stretcher. I was
yeah,
acting
yes,
like.
me too.
Because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna. Because they bring you from the hospital to the from
Right.
the actual hospital
From the emergency
after
room.
you're done.
Right.
To the mental hospital, and I was in the car saying crazy shit like, oh, I'm not gonna go and watch this.
Right.
Watch this.
Yeah.
That
Oh, yeah, 'cause
probably
once
looks
you turn,
crazy.
Oh my God.
And I was-
once you
And
flip
she was
the
like,
switch. Yeah.
and then they just pushed me in and wheeled me in, and
Yeah.
then the doors closed like boom.
Yep.
And then I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
and
bitch.
everyone there was so crazy. And I was in the
Yeah.
crazy part because they didn't have any beds in like the more
Yeah.
normal
Oh,
part.
yeah. One woman said to me, she was like, "You see that man over there?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "He raped me out in the courtyard." And I was like,
That's scary.
Yes. And then there was another guy like in the other room screaming, "Oh, fags die of AIDS." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like people like walking up and down the hallway with like sunglasses on, like reading a
Mhm.
book. And I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
I was like, I wonder what chapter they're on.
Yeah.
They were never fucking reading it.
No.
They were just holding the book
yes.
open. So
Like
that-
insanity.
Yeah, and there was two girls in my room, and one of them had like really frizzy hair, and the other one was moaning the whole night, like
Mhm.
ah.
No, right?
And then, so one of them was watching me sleep the entire time. The frizzy hair girl was just watching me
my
like this, standing
God.
over me. And then in the morning, they were like, I've been here for like over 3 weeks. And they go, just to let you know, they don't let everyone leave.
Oh my God.
And I got so
Oh my
afraid.
God.
And then when I had the
yes.
meeing with the guy,
Yes, you have to be like,
I flirted.
of course, yeah.
Yeah,
girl. I was
yeah.
like, shit. If I would have flirted, it would have got me 2 more days.
No, I was like, I have to get back. I was like, I have to get back home. I'm so busy. And he
I'm
was
so
like, dude.
busy. Oh
and
my
I
God, but
pulled
that
up-
sounds crazy. I'm so busy. I have a lot of things to tend to.
And I
The
pulled my
president
gown
is coming
up.
at 1. Like, you sound insane.
And he goes, what do you? And he goes, what do you have to do? And
Yeah,
I go,
he's like, what do you-
stand up. And he goes, I love stand up.
See?
I go, I have a lot
That's
of
the difference
shows.
between you, a pretty girl, and me. If I was like, oh, you do stand up? Oh, that's nice.
No.
You do jokey jokes? Oh, you make people laugh? I'm sure you do. I'm telling you, bitch. It's totally different.
Really?
Yes.
And then when they were letting me leave, they all lined up and they jumped up and down and go, she's leaving, she's getting out, she's
oh
getting
my
out.
God,
It was like
that's
a movie.
real. You went to a mental house.
It was
like, that's
it was
insane.
so scary. And then I felt so fucked up for a month after.
Yeah, you shook a
Did you
little.
feel fucked
yes.
up when you left?
Yes, 100%.
When I went outside and hit the pavement, the
Yeah.
world felt weird
yes,
to
it
me,
felt.
and it
I
looked
felt.
weird,
Yes, it felt very
like
real.
disassociated.
It just, or maybe associated. Maybe I think it fucking put me in like, oh, this is reality, y'all.
Oh.
Yes, I think when we left there, you saw the world for what it is, just a whatever is in front of you.
I was acting crazy
Yeah, of
when I
course.
left.
Oh,
I
yeah.
started
I
recording
shaved
everything.
a 5 in the back of my head.
A 5?
Yeah, and I
Because
made
of
a
5150?
No. 5 is my number.
Oh.
I got that, and then I have this here. 5 is my guiding number. Whenever I see it, I know I'm on the right path.
And that's just your cue.
No, it's just what I've always seen. It just has always been very prevalent.
5?
Yep.
So that's like your
My
adopted
number.
thing?
Yeah.
Wait, and where did that come from?
I just was conscious of it. Anyone I was really connected to was connected to the number 5. Addresses I would get had a lot of 5s in it. My phone numbers were like 5155. Everything, like my boyfriend that I fell in love with, Ricky, his favorite number was 5. When I got a job at Chelsea, my parking lot number was 5555, and that was like the first TV job I ever
Were you a
had.
writer on it?
I was a writer and cast. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was a nightmare, but fun because I had nothing
Nightmare
else.
how?
Just
come
was
on.
just no, it was just not really a welcoming situation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I took Josh Wolf's place,
Okay.
and they were really mad about Josh Wolf leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But he
'Cause he
left
was
on his
on
own
it a
accord.
lot,
He wanted to
yeah.
go.
Okay.
So anyone taking that new position was gonna be
Yeah.
rough. And Chelsea liked me, and they didn't really like that. The other writers.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just the honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
Fortune was amazing to me, and Jen Kirkman was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Jeff Wild.
How long were you there for?
I was only there for like 8 months, 7, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
It was when me and Annie Letterman, we were on together. We used to always, we were
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh my God, we crack up about it because we were always stressed out
Really?
because it was just such a stressful environment. Yeah,
Mm.
it was just great.
So, talk to me. Okay, so you're
Mhm.
saying the 5. You're a
Yeah.
very intuitive person.
Yes.
How do you think? What's your advice for? So for
Mhm.
me, one of the big things that I have right now is like that I don't listen to my gut and follow
Mhm.
my intuition
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
And I have a thing where, and this is like, I have awareness about it now, so I really try to like practice that. What is your advice to someone for
About
that?
about following your gut and intuition.
Yeah, and like really
Yeah.
getting connected to that.
Well, first you have to like get in the flow of things. So you have to like, it sounds so cliche, but you truly have to like start small with gratuity, with being excited about being able to see, with being excited about being able to hear, like being excited about being able to breathe, like little things, like almost like a simpleton, right? And then like you learn how to be gratuitous for just getting a small spot somewhere that you
Mhm.
want, or having a card. So then once you start doing that, you get in the flow of things.
Is
So
this
things
like
start
Abraham
happening.
Hicks stuff?
Exactly. Abraham Hicks
Okay.
is my bitch. I love her.
Yeah.
And that's the way but getting in the flow will then
The
show
vortex.
you the vortex. Yes, the vortex is the best thing on.
I love the fucking
love
vortex.
the vortex. Like,
I
oh
just
my
want to
god.
be in the fucking vortex.
Yes, I used to be when I used to tell people when I first started comedy, I was like, I'm in the vortex, so there's really nothing you can do about it.
Wait, so do you do a daily? Do you work on it daily? Because you can feel when
Yeah,
you're
of
not in it, and
course.
you can
Oh,
feel when you're
totally.
in it.
Yeah. You have to consciously get in it.
But I'm not in it more often than
Of course,
I am.
most of us aren't in it more
Okay.
often, but when you are
Yeah.
in it, you'll start to see things happening easily. So that allows you to help you to trust your gut more. So we don't trust our gut when we're not in the flow because you're thinking with your mind a lot and things aren't going the right way. So then you start doubting yourself. So if you're in the flow more and you see things going the right way just through gratuity, you're like,
So that's like the main thing, because
honestly, it
I
really
listen to a
is.
lot of those
Yeah.
recordings, and like sometimes I'm like, wait, but how are we getting in it again?
No, it's about
So it's
getting
just
in,
like
starting
oh,
small.
this feels so good,
Yes.
right? Saying
Pet a fucking tree and a pole and be like, I love that my hands have senses that can feel that. There are some people who can't, like that kind of thing.
like,
I-
oh, I love that, like, we have this water.
That this
Ugh,
water's
I
available
love that
to
it's
us
so
and it's
cold
clean.
and it drinks,
Yeah.
like things like that. So you're starting to
Doesn't that
actively
already feel
appreciating.
better? Like,
Yeah,
and
it
it
does.
feels better. So
Yeah.
once you start to feel better, things happen easier. And then it tells your mind, oh, this is possible. So then when things are happening easier, it's easier for you to quiet your mind and let your soul, your spirit, your energy, soul is such a religious word, your energy, you'll be like, oh, that feels right. So let me go that way. Just like saying feeling gratuity for the water feels right. Those things you'll be like, oh, this feels right. And then when things don't feel right, you're like, oh, I won't go to certain places because I'm like, I don't feel happy there.
Yeah.
So I'm not going there. Then when I would not go there more often, I saw something good come about it, right? So I was like, oh shit.
Is that part of like not hanging out too?
Oh,
right?
totally. Now, honestly, like when I do Spot of the Laugh Factory, I go out the back door. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Like,
In
I
and
got
out.
in and out. I'm here to provide my service that I've worked on for 13 years. I have my voice. Even people who want to put me on shows, I tell them in town it's $50 minimum. Like, I got my voice. Like, I'm not, unless I'm working on an hour or a new set for something and I need the stage time, I'm good. I don't want to do that anymore for free. I've practiced. I've done the workouts. I know what I said. I know my sound, So that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Because I was taking every spot and not feeling good. And I'd be like, why am I going to this? I don't want to be there. So then,
what kind of other stuff do you do to like figure out, like get in touch with and like stick to that and like build the confidence
put
in that?
affirmations up on your walls.
Yeah.
Like write stuff and put it there so you see it every day. So it's subconsciously in your mind.
But like as like an addict, right? Yeah.
I guess I would say I'm addictive.
Or okay.
Addictive.
So like I would, I'll be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, and I'll keep doing it. It's almost like hurting
Don't do
myself.
it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
How do you like break that? You
just have to realize that you should only
listen
do
to yourself saying, I don't want to. Yeah.
You don't. It goes with feelings. It's joy or let's say negative, right? Because negative has so many. You could be angry, you could be sad, you could be anxious, but joy is a basic joy. That's one thing. So joy or negative, right? If something makes you feel negative, don't do it. And I'm not saying fear, because when you start comedy, you feel negative probably all the time before you go on stage, but you're still excited, you're exhilarated. So you don't really feel negative. You feel nervous. Nervousness and fear, I don't think that's negative. I think that's good to feel. But when it actually makes you feel not happy, when like going on that stage doesn't make you feel happy, don't go on that stage. Step back for a little while. Don't let your pride and your ego make you feel like you have to still be doing that. Because then you become nasty and bitter and you're just creating a negative block for everyone around. So you take your stuff out. It's empowering to to say, I'm going to step back for a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to empower yourself. The more you do things because you're supposed to, you're not empowering yourself. You're digging yourself deeper. You're making yourself more basic to fit in for what? So you can get the thing you think you need. You'll never have the thing you need. I've been in friends' houses who have mansions. They still are looking for the thing they need when it's all right inside you. If you're happy, that's all you need.
What do you do with negative thinking? Does that affect you? You seem like a very like,
I could be. Oh,
well-rounded
girl,
person.
no. I am well rounded because I've made myself well rounded. Right.
Mhm.
I go from zero to like I'm dying tomorrow. You know, like it goes very dark very quickly. So I think I've had to teach myself how to be well
Mhm.
rounded.
Yeah, how do you stop the negative thinking? Are you, like,
Honestly,
good
I
about that?
think medication has helped that.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm gonna give some props to the medicine. I think that has helped me compartmentalize
Yeah,
things
yeah.
because I do notice that my whirlwind of OCD thoughts isn't as
Mhm.
strong.
Mhm.
Like I'm able to say, okay, that's not true, and move on. You
Mhm.
know, so that's helped. So I don't know if quieting the negative thoughts can be all my. I can't pat myself on the back for that because I think the medicine has helped that.
Do you have any other daily sort of spiritual things you do?
Just get outside. That's what I
Mm.
just get
Mhm.
outside, breathe in the air. I
Without your phone on a walk?
oh, that's the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
I remember when I got off Facebook for like 8 months. It was the best 8 months. I was
Facebook
so
sucks
happy.
now.
Facebook is if you want to just go read negative shit, just go. That's where you want to
Yeah.
go. Facebook is for like I want to hear bad news the whole time.
Mhm.
That's it. Instagram's just fun because it's like nice pictures of people living their lives, but even that's too much.
Mhm.
All of the social media is terrible, and it's even worse for children. Like my nephews and nieces, I feel so bad for
I
them that
can't
they're
imagine, yeah. I
oh
feel
my
bad for
god, it's
yeah.
hard enough. So I feel bad for
I
them.
would not be on social media if I didn't have to, like, promote
Of
myself,
course, I that's one of the
which is
things
the
I hate
thing that,
about this
like
business is
mhm.
having to even be on that. I'm actually a very like private person, but
Mhm.
in this business, that's another thing that kind of made me want to step back. I was tired of like displaying all of my innermost, tales to the
Mhm.
world just to get successful in a thing that I love, you know? I was like, yeah, I think I want to kind of like find my spirit again, like
Mm.
because we like give our energy to all these people to these strangers. These audiences don't care. They laugh, oh my god, then they leave. They'll be like that guy who told that joke or that girl who told that joke about this. Oh, she was so great. And that's it. Done. I have my ride or dies that come out. But even that shit's weird, Like it's like it's just, it's like, what are we doing,
Yeah.
It's like my parents, that shit's important. My fucking niece and those people are important. My dog, my friend, that shit's important. My well-being, me,
Mhm.
that's important. But fanship, I've never even when I first started getting fans, I called them friend fans because I
Mhm.
felt weird calling. They're people.
Right.
They're human beings who, and some of them will do such great things for you. Those are friends, like, So it's like it's all gross and it's not good for your spirit. But that's a way to like kind of step away
Who
from.
keeps you grounded and humbled like this?
I think like
Did this
I think I would say like my mom, but my mom thinks I'm nuts.
Mhm.
So I think just me, it's all my instant insight that I've always had. It's part of I think being a Heyoka is that I just know these things. It's like a clairvoyant is the gift of like seeing and knowing.
Mm.
There's like a clair knowing and clairvoyant, and I've just always been like that. As so, friends would come to me for advice because I seem to have wisdom. But then as I got older, it was just like, oh, Thomas is just crazy. Then I was funny, so Thomas is just funny. But now I'm like, no, I have these gifts that I want to share with the world. And I've always wanted to help people on a mass scale. And I thought through comedy that would be my way. But I realized that that was just a stepping stone for me to figure out how to live in spirit. And comedy has broken down my ego in such a beautiful way that I don't live in ego at all anymore. So now I live in spirit. When I started living in my spirit, all the gifts that I naturally have started to just pop off, and that is how you do it. If
Wow.
you get in, there's ego and
Yeah,
spirit.
how do you live in
You just
spirit
have
and
to
not in
allow.
ego?
You have to allow your ego. You have to allow yourself to be humbled all the time. Like show the shit that you don't want to show. Be the thing that you're afraid of being, and then admit it and take accountability for all your actions. Every action, every fight, take your side of accountability. In every argument, there's two sides, and both people are right and wrong. So if you take accountability, that stuff builds up to
Mm.
living in your spirit because we all walk around in this ego thing. Oh, what am
Mhm.
I? I'm going to do this. This one's going to care. None of that matters. And once you stop caring and realizing that none of that matters, and the only thing that matters is your well being and your greatness in spirit, then you're set. Then you're good. Then the simple things, you could have nothing and you'll feel amazing.
Mm.
You know, that's the way I think. Honestly, like just get out of the ego and be humble.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I can't wait to come and
Yes, hit me up
come
and
to
we'll
the
do it. Yeah.
yeah. And
Hmm.
then favorite Italian dish.
My favorite Italian dish before I went veganish is spaghetti bolognese and obviously lasagna. My mom makes it for me
Mm.
every birthday.
I love
I
it.
love lasagna. I could eat a whole tray.
It's so fucking
It's so
good.
amazing. Some
What how do you
mozzarella,
what do you like it what do you like in it though?
meat, ground
Mhm.
beef,
Yeah, yeah.
mozzarella, and ricotta, and that's it. Some
I love how
marinara
you say
sauce.
it.
That's the New York in me.
I love it. Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Thomas, for
Thank
coming
you,
on. Thank
Chelsea.
you guys for listening. Please remember to subscribe, rate, and review to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. Thanks. Bye.
Um,
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
baby.
you.